Episode 48. My laundry's finally done. I took a substantial break between the last episode and this one in order to get everything folded. If I leave it in the dryer too long, everything gets all wrinkly. I don't like that. I was making sure to take some breaks in between doing all that laundry. Pay visits to the gold saucer every 20 minutes. Just checking my phone, it was around the time for an event to take place there. That's how often they do one of those special events. In addition to a moderate sum of MGP, you also get a substantial, relatively, amount of tombstones for the more interesting rewards from the recent event, including the casual outfit that I had last time, and some other rare items that you can only get during these tombstone events. Still have a ways to go before I can get everything I want on this character, not to mention everything I want on my actual main character. It's probably not the most efficient to actually just sit around in the gold saucer to get the tombstones. But since the events happen every 20 minutes and the actual activities that you have to take part in are pretty quick, if you're doing something else, then just tuning in every 20 minutes while AFKing the rest of the time is, I think, moderately efficient, as far as I'm concerned. On this character anyway, that's really all I can do, since most of the actual activities are locked behind some later stuff that I don't have. Still haven't forgotten this guy though. Don't know why Mimidoa is refusing to play Triple Triad with me. I think I read it was main story quest related, but I don't remember which one. Well, we're not worrying about that right now. Imagine a sculpture. It goes up to chest height or something like that. That'd be pretty enormous, right? Relatively speaking. This little dragon head. Probably small to the Hyur gentleman and the Elizin over there. But to a Lalafell, absolutely massive. By your countenance, I take it you did not learn anything of use. Nor did I fear. It seems the whole of Corthus is consumed by this talk of heretics in the high houses. We can only hope that my sources in Ishgard proper provide more pertinent information. I had another personal request to make of you. It concerns Lord Francel, of whom much has been whispered in recent days. I have received a report that he and 3 knights were seen headed north towards the Steel Vigil. The outpost was long ago overrun by the Dravanian horde, so I'm not certain what he intends to accomplish with such a small force. Whatever his motives, I fear for his safety. Pray, journey to the Steel Vigil and see if Lord Francel's party requires assistance. I don't think Komori is too keen to help you after none of the leads that you had helped us. But if we're going to see Francel, who we erroneously suspect of being associating with the dragon heretics, Komori is suddenly more interested. North it was. Of course, everyone in Horschiffon says Lord Francel is an honorable man, can do no wrong. But Komori doesn't buy it. She sees a look on his face and is sure Francel's definitely a heretic. And she wants to join him. Frankly, dragons are cooler. Camp Dragonhead looks pretty good at night. Even from this distance, with some trees obscuring it. The lights off over there kind of give off a warmth of safety. Even with the monsters dotting the landscape, it looks kind of peaceful. Peaceful. This, of course, isn't where we're supposed to go. I was just wandering in here to admire the scenery. Not really a spoiler, unless I've forgotten, but this location isn't really used for anything, in the main story anyway. It is used in a Dragoon quest for some interesting events. Very cinematic area. What have we here? Where is Lord Francel? Please, you must find him. It's not safe here. We must flee. So fast, so strong. We were no match. Behind a wall somewhere, I guess. I'm sure he's hiding in a corner. There we are. It's my minion. I must have dismissed it while I was in the gold saucer. Who goes there? Go away? No, stay back. The fiend is still here. Oh, how did I miss that? Oh, I'm targeting the wrong thing. I don't think I could have optimized that any better, but I probably could have. Just don't know how. Alone be praised, you did it. But what of the others? The 3 knights who accompanied me, where are they? I heard the beast cries from over yonder. Then Lord Francel is safe? Bless you, miss, bless you. Curse those fiends. It's as though they knew we were coming. Confound it all. How are we to redeem House Hyonarte if we cannot even slay a single Avis? We are fortunate you came along when you did, miss. House Hyonarte will remember your kindness. I have no idea what the show is like, but I feel like I'm in Downton Abbey or something like that. Whenever I hear about these rumors sung between the different houses and families. I'm pretty sure that's a British drama of some kind like that, right? Probably not. Well, this is dragons, so... For all I know, Downton Abbey does have dragons. Whatever. It was a foolish thing to do, I know. but I had hoped we might demonstrate our devotion by slaying a number of the Scalekin. Moreover, it was House Hyonarte that yielded the Steel Vigil to the Horde many years ago. One might say that our defeat here heralded the slow decline of our house's once great name. We have been brought ever lower by these despicable accusations of heresy, and despite my best efforts, I've done naught to improve the situation. The day of my trial approaches. Soon I must accept the judgment of the Inquisitors, whatever it may be. But even should my protestations fall on deaf ears, I will proclaim my innocence to my dying breath. Could have had my chocobo out for that encounter. That probably would have slightly optimized the DPS a little bit, although my chocobo is spec'd for healing. Has it leveled up? Oh, it's leveled up quite a bit. Still 6 more. Okay. Don't think I mentioned it before, but your chocobo ranks up to level 10, and I think 10 is enough to get 1 full class, if you put all the points in it, plus some extra for another class, or another extra points into 2 of the other classes. If you tried to divide it evenly between all 3, you wouldn't level up a single one all the way. But rank 10 is only the soft cap, I suppose, because you can feed your chocobo some stuff to rank it up to, or allow it to rank up to the next rank, with a maximum of 20 being the hard cap. And 20, of course, is going to be the amount of SP that you need exactly to get all of the skills in all 3 classes. But the main reward, other than the actual skills that your chocobo gets, are the glamours, the barding that you get for your chocobo. Barding for either attack, DPS, or rather, barding for DPS, healing, or tanking. They're quite pretty, though other barding might compete. What did you find at the Steel Vigil? Ah, I see. A reckless plan, but at least it did not cost him and his knights their lives. I have news for you as well. A witness to the final flight of the Enterprise has been found. Alas, there's a complication. It has become common knowledge that you paid a visit to Lord Francel at Skyfire Docks not long ago. Upon learning of this, the witness became understandably reticent to make your acquaintance, for fear of being seen in the company of a woman who might later be declared a heretic. A not unreasonable fear, given the zeal with which Inquisitor Guillaume has conducted his investigations. In any case, if we wish to obtain his testimony, we must first clear Lord Francel's name, and by association yours. As I see it, the key to proving Lord Francel's innocence is discrediting the evidence against him. I speak of the draconian rosary found in the chest you yourself recovered. If you would, please tell me of the incident in question. So it was found in a locked chest labeled as the property of Lord Francel. If the rosary was not his, then someone else with access must have planted it. Here's what you must do. Return to Skyfire Locks and speak with Rickman. He works closely with the porters who ferry goods across Coruscant, so he may have some inkling of who could be responsible. Please, warm yourself by our hearth. Take a rest from your journeys. Life is not a race, my friend. Rush blindly forward without concern for your health, and you will one day pay the price. My God. I can't believe he said that. As his default NPC dialogue, something that you would hear from him the very first time you talk to him if you were to wander up here for the main quest without doing, or outside of the main quest, just wandering around. And those are the words he says. Eh? Someone tampering with shipments? Really strike me down. If all them rosaries found in people's possessions were planted. Hey now, don't give me that look, lass. I'm a House Ionarte man through and through. This heresy nonsense is bad for me and my family too. I ain't saying the porters what were bringing the shipment did it though. I know most of them what work with the trade routes, and I never had cause to question their face. But if it wasn't them neither, then your guess is as good as mine. After all, most every shipment is thoroughly inspected before it. Eh? Could it have been the fellows what were responsible for the inspections? Huh. Ishgardian knights and inquisitors, a lot of them. As if they'd ever turn their cloaks. Reckon that means the porters are your most likely suspects. Hate to think it, but maybe you should question them. There's a crew coming to Camp Dragonhead from Whiteprim Front this morn. You might consider having a word with them. Ah, the weather's cleared up. The sky's a lovely shade of purple. I don't recall seeing this too often. This shade of the sky. In fact, all of my memories of this entire area, Central Kurthus, is filled with blizzards of snow obscuring the view. I think the weather is probably very frequently that. Unless I've just had bad luck this whole time. It looks good now, though. Must be the early morning lighting. Only a brief window you'd be able to see these colors, I guess. While the weather is also clear. Kind of like the golden hour, but for morning. I wonder if you can see the Aurora Borealis. I'm pretty sure that's not a weather event that happens in A Realm Reborn or in any expansion, but could be like a rare thing that happens that I've never seen, who knows. Beg your pardon? You suspect that we porters have been planting draconian rosaries in House Ionarte shipments? What nerve. If you truly believe such nonsense, search our parcels and see what you find. Ionarte. That was Ionarte, wasn't it? Didn't show up in my log. Well, whatever. Yep, all the Ionarte ones. Are we finished? If so, I would appreciate an apology. But that's impossible. Once the knight at Whiteprim Front concluded her inspection, I loaded the parcels into the wagon myself. And if I had been the culprit, I would have never allowed you to search my shipments. Likely story. But no, it's probably the other guys. Say what you will to Lord Horshafont, I will not be held accountable for this. Didn't need to mount my chocobo for that. Did something happen outside? I thought I heard shouting. But more importantly, what did Rickman have to say? More draconian rosaries? In every single parcel bound for Skyfire locks? That beggars belief. Even the Inquisitors must acknowledge that this is no more than a crass attempt to sully House Hyonarte's reputation. Whoever is responsible has overplayed his hand. And praise alone that he did. Lord Francel's trial is upon us, and we must act now if we are to free his name. From the very first, I knew it could not be that so many members of House Hyonarte were heretics. At last we can give the lie to these poisonous allegations, and put an end to this travesty. I will need to prepare a more formal statement regarding these developments for the Holy See. In the meantime, I would have you bear my words to Inquisitor Brigier. Tell her that House Fortemps asks, nay, demands that Lord Francel's trial be postponed until a full investigation has been conducted. What is it, my child? Lord Horchefant would have the Inquisitors do what? But that is not possible. Inquisitor Guillaume presides over Lord Francel's trial at Witchtrop, even as we speak. Fear not. If Lord Francel is indeed innocent, he shall walk in Halone's hall, with the fallen heroes of Ishgard. Very on the nose, but I appreciate it. Witch trials, Witchtrop. If he's guilty, who cares? And if he's innocent, then he's going to heaven. Witchtrop is this way. Or rather, we talk to Horchefant first, and then Witchtrop. Yeah, Witchtrop is where my instinct remembers. Always jump over this table. On my main character, and now as Comor. Who would walk around it? It's too long. They have taken Lord Francel to Witchtrop? This is madness. The Inquisitor does not have sufficient grounds to subject him to that manner of trial. I will not stand idly by and allow an innocent man to die. Comor, I will dispatch you and one of my knights to Witchtrop to forestall the proceedings, until such a time that I am able to join you and petition Inquisitor Guillaume in person. I will endeavor not to keep you waiting too long. Do whatever you must to keep Lord Francel alive. Looks good during the day, too, when there's no snowstorm obscuring view. Still encampment over there. Guess the Ixil have both a contingent over here in Corthus and the Shroud as well. Or the northern part of the Shroud. I suppose you could say that their territory encompasses around this area, with this kind of faded out region being central Corthus where we are now. That's strange. Why does... Well, that enters us into a instance, but there's also a ring here. Interesting. So there are two ways to trigger this, either talking to Orthonet here or entering that zone. I wonder why that Why that's even the case. Doesn't matter, but... Maybe... Now bear with me. This is probably just me talking out of my ass or something, but perhaps the original iteration of this quest just had you tack to Orthanet or something to begin the instance. But they added in later this ring here, because people may have felt that it would be weird that you could walk up to these NPCs and just stand next to them while they're preparing to kill a man. It'd feel off-putting. So this ring of aggression or whatever enters you into an instance the moment you approach them. Just a guess. It may have been designed that way from the very beginning, with both the ring and this guy. Hail, Komori. As you can see, Lord Francel yet lives. We must try to reason with the Inquisitors, but if his guards judge us a threat, we must also be prepared to defend ourselves. I don't imagine the quest is any different, whichever way you start it. Joaquin Charlemald Francel de Hayonate, you stand accused of heresy against this holy see of Ishgard. Is there aught you wish to say in your defense? Hear me, brothers. These charges are false. The men and women of my line have ever opposed the Dravanians, and I am no different. Since the very birth of our nation, we have gladly shed blood in service to the Holy See. Condemn me, and you will strike a blow for the enemies of Ishgard. It is for her alone to judge if you speak the truth. Prove your innocence in the eyes of God and men. Leap from the cliff and entrust your fate to the Fury. The righteous shall take their place in Halone's halls, while the wicked shall reveal their Draken forms and be put to the sword. In the name of Hearthfort Toms, I beseech you, stay your hand. Dramatic wind. Inquisitor, we are come on behalf of Lord Horsefont. My lord has uncovered evidence which suggests that the charges against Lord Francel are without merit. We humbly request that these proceedings be suspended until such a time as a full re-examination of the facts has been conducted. Lord Horsefont has allowed his personal relationship with the accused to cloud his judgment. That he should harbor private doubts, I might have allowed. But that he would dare interfere in legal proceedings sanctioned by the Holy See, I cannot. To defy the will of an Inquisitor is to commit heresy, a crime for which there was but one punishment. You must hold them until Lord Horsefont arrives, Komori. And remember, no harm can come to the Inquisitor. A bit strange, but okay. Does that mean we're killing these other guys and not the Inquisitor or something? That's probably not it. Probably Kyrusian first. Oh, they killed that Kyrusian. Ah, he's healing himself. Unyielding, is he? This swift cast doesn't help me any bit, but not sure where else I can use it. Ah, Horsefont. Coming riding in to save the day. What the hell is going on over here? It's invulnerable. Alright, let's finish off Alderic. Oh, no you don't. Oh, the dragon added in some spice to that encounter. And what do you have to say for yourself? Okay. It is not our intention to defy the will of the Archbishop, but this trial, like many others I fear, has been orchestrated by enemies of House Hyonarte. They have used you and your fellows to sow discord, Inquisitor, to set brother against brother, that we may tear ourselves apart. The fevered imaginings of a desperate man. What proof do you have of this? By the Fury, a draconian rosary. Then the knight who refused to yield. It was he who summoned the wyvern. A heretic in the ranks of the Temple Knights. This has grave implications. Your claims would appear to have merit, Lord Horsefont. I shall withdraw my charges against Lord Francel, pending further investigation. I trust you have not lost sight of that which first brought you to Coruscant, Komori. Pray locate your errant airship, and use it. Lord Horsefont, I have not the words to express my gratitude, but why would you risk your reputation to save mine? Because I know you, boy. You're too loyal to betray Ishgard, and too devout to question your sentence. Had we been any slower, you'd have jumped of your own free will. I would have done whatever it took to redeem House Hyonarte. Praise alone, it did not come to that, but it profits us little to dwell on what might have been. Let us quit this place, Komori. Pray visit me at Camp Dragonhead once you have recuperated. I forgot he did that. I forgot he comes riding in the middle of battle. That's pretty cool. I wasn't sweating or anything, but it was a cool moment. And I was actually pretty sure that the Inquisitor himself was the guy planting all the rosaries, but I guess it was the knight who may have been present in earlier cutscenes, but I wasn't paying attention. Maybe the Inquisitor was just a red herring. The kind of cryptic line he gave you the first time you met him sounded like he was trying to steer you away from investigating anything around other than the airship. But I guess maybe it was just him looking out for you in a roundabout way. Still, kind of messed up. His methods are still to throw people off of a cliff. I'm pretty sure that's questionable. I think Horsefont called it questionable, so even if he isn't at blame here 100%, his methods are still pretty much terrible. But maybe that's just something that they kind of accept around here. It's hard to say what exactly they consider normal in Eorzea? How much is civilized compared to what we consider civilized? It comes to mind the pirate Dozmaga from the Arcanist questline. He's a literal slave trader, but it seems like his punishment was to be exiled from Limsa Lominsa. I mean, later we captured him and put him in prison, so maybe the exile was something they had to do, or something they couldn't get around. In any case, it felt like it was weird that he was just kind of floating around, despite all the crimes he committed. Could just be the general feel of A Realm Reborn being a little bit different from later expansions. Who knows? You look well, Komoy. May I say what a pleasure it was to fight alongside such a fearless and skillful warrior. Were it not for you, Lord Francel would surely have died defending the honor of his house, and I might well have perished at the hands of a heretic and his wyvern. House Vortance and House Hyonarte shall never forget your service. Now let us return to the matter of your missing enterprise. The man with knowledge of the Enterprise awaits you outside. I pray his information proves useful to you. I see Sid and Alphinaud have finally moved from their torch, meaning they'll probably join us shortly. How quickly the commoners' opinions change. They say Lord Francel is innocent now, but just a few days prior. I guess it's been several days since the first quest we took here. Anyways, you were inquiring as to the whereabouts of an airship last seen in Gorthus several days before the calamity, yes? Well, it so happens that I was monitoring the night at the observatorium during that period. Monitoring the night sky at the observatorium during that period. I recall that a small vessel came from the direction of Gridania and landed near the stone vigil in the far northwest. The garrison almost certainly seized the vessel and brought it within their walls. If so, then you would need an army of knights to have any hope of securing it. Though Lord Horchefant is, from all indications, quite fond of you, so mayhap he can lend you a few. In any case, I have done my part. I shall pray for your success, friend. Oh, so you've at last located the Enterprise. I believe congratulations are in order. The stone vigil? Perhaps I spoke too soon. The outpost has been held by the dragons for years, and all access is restricted by decree of House Durandare. I will write a letter to Lord Drillmont of Whitebrim Front, and request that he grant you permission to enter. That said, I fear my influence alone will not suffice, so I suggest that you request Lord Francel do the same. Now that your business in Camp Dragonhead is concluded, I suspect we may not meet again for some time. I wish you well in your journeys, Komoy. May Halone guide you. Is that hello or goodbye? That's goodbye. I have trouble telling those apart. And it's blizzarding again. Oh, Francel is this way. Right, in his usual abode. I mean, this has its own aesthetic, of course. barely being able to see. Same thing with the architecture. You don't want things to be too comfortable all the time in every location. You might lose out on the fantasy that way of an adventurer going into harsh environments and conquering them. But for recording, it looks better when the weather isn't blizzardy. Well, I like it better anyway. Wonderful to see you again, Gomoy. If there's anything I can do to repay you, name it. So the airship you seek is likely inside the Stone Vigil. It seems to me to say that it too was once an outpost held by House Hiernorte. In the chaos that followed the calamity, the Dravanian horde caught us unawares. The fiends have held the outpost ever since. As we lack the strength of arms to retake the Stone Vigil, House Durandare instead has been charged with the duty. Given that, I doubt that my words will carry much weight with Lord Drillmont. Nevertheless, I will write you your letter. Before you depart, a word of caution. The Cravens who attempted to destroy House Hiernorte have yet to be unmasked. Though their plans were foiled, they doubtless will harbor great hatred towards us, and towards you now as well. I think Omori is probably a little bit disappointed that Francel didn't turn out to be the heretic she was hoping he was. With that disappointment, she's probably eager to get out of the cold, retrieve that airship and call it mission done. Yep, all the way over here. This ties into what I was talking about in the last episode. We won't walk all the way over there, but some parts of the map like this are specifically reserved for big fate/mark/event things. I don't really know when the behemoth spawns here, but obviously it does. And I guess back in the day was a big deal. I guess now though, people just kind of wipe it in a few seconds because they take it on at max level. Not all dead ends on the map are like that though. Sometimes they're just dead ends for a quest or for flavor, I don't know. I'm no expert on the matter. And if it weren't blizzarding right now, we could stare out at Ishgard through these big gates. Or we can at least get as close as we can and see. Yeah, there's nothing to see out there. Of course, seeing it through the gate would be obscuring your view a bit. A better view would be from this cliff or something like that. Would be. Took that guy a while to aggro. Now I know where we're going, and with the amount of time we have left, I'm not sure we'll have enough time for it. Depending on how things go, maybe I'll make this a little bit longer. This is the last of my session, so maybe I'll cap it off with something extra. You desire an audience with Lord Drillmont, do you? Huh. I desire a night in a warm bed with my wife, but wishing won't make it so. What do you say to these pieces of paper? What do we have here? Letters from Lord Horchefant and Francel, is it? A likely... Oh, you're serious. What to do, what to do. Your timing could not have been worse, traveler. Lord Drillmont's attentions are focused solely on the stone vigil at present. In any case, it is not my responsibility to escort visitors. Take your letters and show them to Sir Albois. Yes, Sir Albois can surely accommodate you. Seek her in the storeroom on the opposite side of the yard. White Brim Front. You've heard this name thrown around. I don't remember this place too well. I mainly just remember Camp Dragonhead and the place south of it. Well, I'll offer notes here. Where's Sid? He must be somewhere around here. I thought we'd be going straight into a dungeon or something, but it seems like that might be a ways off, so this episode might finish on time after all. Time is a resource we can ill afford to squander. You must gain entrance to the stone vigil without further delay. The chocobo is of course an optional thing, even if the quest gives you enough flame seals to buy the chocobo straight away, the moment that you get the flame seals, or the moment that you unlock Grand Companies. There are still probably players that may play without a chocobo for a very long time, so I guess that's why these chocobos exist, or choco keeps exist. Although it may have been that in the past, flame seals were harder to come by, and that people were maybe chocobo-less for a lot of the main story quests. Could be that the quest where you join whatever Grand Company you choose was later changed to give you exactly enough flame seals you need to buy a chocobo, just to expedite your run through a Realm Reborn for any players trying to catch up. Why am I out here talking in the cold? Thoughts like this that come to my head should probably be saved for when I'm wandering across the landscape, not in the middle of a quest. Sir Brunadier bade you speak with me, did he? I know not why he presumed I would be in a better position to help, but I assure you that he is mistaken. Lord Drillmont hasn't the time to spend speaking with low-ranking knights such as I. However, he always has a moment to spare for the head Chirurgeon Astidian. Why not visit the infirmary upstairs and show your letters to him? Yep, I'd forgotten there was a whole quest line with White Room Front. I guess that makes sense. Not every single city or settlement you'll find is related to the main story, but I think most are. I'm ignoring that. There you are, Sid. If the Enterprise is indeed inside the Stone Vigil, then we must convince Lord Drillmont to cooperate. This area looks cold. Especially if they're not sleeping under the covers. At least the lighting here is a bit warmer, but it's probably still cold. Are you here to visit a patient, madam? What's this? Letters of introduction from House Fort Thompson, Higher Norte? With documents such as these, you needn't seek an escort. Pray proceed to the barracks and speak with Sir Goderno. Sir Goderno. He should know Lord Drillmont's current whereabouts. We're kind of talking to a lot of people. They're just kind of pointing us all over the place, I guess giving us the lay of the land. Could be that this quest line was shortened, and that we previously had to do a lot of quests for each character we just talked to along this chain. In fact, I think I vaguely recall that on my main character having to do that. Like, these people didn't trust us immediately, and we had to do quests for each one of them to get further up the chain. Or maybe it was reworked so that the letters were enough to give you everything that you need to talk to the main guy in charge. Just a guess. I don't know if that's actually how things were reworked, if there was any rework. What reason do you have for jumping onto that chair? Oh, I see. Well, you are in luck. Lord Drillmont is just up these stairs. Letters or no, though, I would not expect much. House Durandare, as a whole, does not hold adventurers in high regard. You had best state your intentions quickly and succinctly. Show proper respect, and it shall be returned in kind. Might just be me remembering things wrong, but I feel like I did a lot of requests for this guy or something in this area. Probably wrong. Maybe I did a lot of quests for this guy. It's just this landscape that feels familiar. This room. So Gordano permitted you passage. Very well speak. You wish to brave a ruined outpost filled with Scalekin to secure an airship that may or may not be there. Are you the avatar of the Fury herself? We are the scions of the Seventh Dawn, Lord Trillmont. You know our name, and you know our deeds. We are come to Coerthus to slay Garuda, Lady of the Vortex. To that end we seek the Enterprise, the airship of Master Sid Non-Garland, who stands before you now. Master Garland, you're alive? But that's impossible. Indeed it is, my lord. Do not be deceived by their honeyed words. These foreigners are not to be trusted. At this critical moment in Ishgardian history, as House Durandare marshals its forces to retake the Stone Vigil, who should appear in right grim front but 3 mysterious strangers. Sid Garland, missing and presumed dead since before the calamity, and 2 scions of the Seventh Dawn, a defunct band of misfits recently exterminated by the Empire. Our extermination was greatly exaggerated. The lesser houses may have been duped by these grandiose lies, but I should hope that House Durandare would have greater sense. I know not why these 3 seek the Stone Vigil, but I know that we cannot permit them to pass. Thank you for your counsel, Inquisitor. For a moment I nearly believed this mummer's farce. You 3 will not enter the outpost until we have reclaimed it, and until you declare your true intentions as well. It could be moons before House Durandare purges the dragons from the Stone Vigil. We cannot afford to wait that long. Sid, Komoy, we must do whatever it takes to earn Lord Drillmont's trust. Understood? Well, off we note, I'm afraid to say you might have to wait many moons after all. I don't know if that's how long it's going to be in-game or whatever. But I'll be taking a break. A pretty long one, now that my session's over. Could be a week, could be a moon, before I get back to this game. Normally I end these sessions in a more comfy bed. But there are no inns here. At least, the only inn in Ishgard is locked behind a gate we can't pass. But for now, I guess we'll be signing off here. This is as good a place as any to take a break. This is not one of the beds you can sleep in.